Texas Education Code allows students to receive an excused absence if they miss school for the purpose of participating in a religious holiday. However, many schools require the child to obtain a note from the clergy or religious leader in order to excuse the absence. For many religions, these holy days are not observed on the school calendar, yet attract a lot of families. It is not always reasonable to have a clergy or religious leader issue hundreds of notes for schools so that children can properly make use of the excused absence they are guaranteed in statute and are not punished for participating in their religious holidays. This bill simply allows parents of children missing school due to religious holidays to provide a note to the school to obtain an excused absence, just as they would if their child was out sick. Empowering parents to provide this permission to miss school due to religious holidays is consistent with our belief that parents are the best guides in their children's education, in their walk of faith, and in learning to navigate the world around them. House Bill 1212 is an important step to empower parents and protecting the religious freedom of Texas students. At this time, I'm happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, I reserve the right to close.
All right, members, any questions for Representative Jetton? All right, if no further or no questions, we'll proceed to testimony. The chair calls Jennifer Allman. We show you registered as Jennifer Allman on behalf of the Texas Catholic Conference of Bishops, and you'll be testifying for the bill. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, thank you.
I'm Jennifer Allman. I'm the Executive Director of the Texas Catholic Conference of Bishops, and we support House Bill 1212 to allow parents to provide written excuse for religious holiday absences. Within the Catholic Church calendar, we have several holy days of obligation that fall on weekdays where Catholics are obligated to attend Mass. Students likely wouldn't need to have the entire day out of school, but some families do have traditions that go along with attending Mass, and so a parent might choose to have their family participate in additional traditions beyond just Mass attendance. So we support this bill and encourage you to support religion of all faiths in being able to observe the religious practices if they happen to fall on a school day.
All right, members, any questions for this witness? All right, thank you very much. Chair calls Katie Frug, Christian Life Commission. Did I get that right?
A little. Not so much. Fruget.
Fruget. Tried Chevalier this morning and got rebuked, so I was going back to the old way. All right, I got it. We show you registered as Katie Fruget on behalf of the Christian Life Commission, and you'll be testifying for the bill. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Katie Fruget, and I'm testifying on behalf of the Texas Baptist Christian Life Commission in support of House Bill 1212. We're a convention of more than 5,300 Baptist churches across the state, and Texas Baptists support religious freedom for all Texans. We want to support HB 1212 as a practical and meaningful way to respect the deeply held religious convictions of Texan families. Religious freedom is a historic tenet of Baptist, and we fully affirm and support this bill as a practical and meaningful way to respect the deeply held religious convictions of our families. We also see this as a pro-life family effort that relieves children and parents from the stress of wondering if they will be punished with an unexcused absence just for celebrating a family holiday together. Allowing a parental note for an excused absence for a religious celebration also recognizes that depending on a person's faith and practice, it can be much easier for some people of some religions to obtain such notes. So we commend everyone who has come together to help advance and protect the religious freedoms for all Texans, and we support this bill.
Members, are there any questions?
One question.
Okay, Vice Chair Allen.
Ms. Prouget.
Yes, ma'am.
Just wanted to know I'm Baptist. What day holiday is there that's missing when children don't have a holiday?
Well, the beauty of being a Baptist is every church is autonomous and has their local holidays or their support for that. So the church could decide that on their own.
Oh, so any day they decide to have a holiday?
If the church as an autonomous body decides that they would have that authority.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Any additional questions? Thank you very much. Chair calls Carrie Moore, the Texas Education 911. We show you registered as Carrie Moore on behalf of Texas Education 911 yourself and the Education Division leader for County Citizens Defending Freedom, and you'll be testifying for the bill. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
We're here to support this bill. Parents need to have their right to guide their children's educational and religious upbringing. With the lack of the religious education in schools, it's imperative that children receive excused absences for any and all religious holidays or days of observation. That goes for the mainstream religions as well as those that may not be as well known. And as parents, we have the right, and we feel like we need the support to be able to have those and our children be excused from school for those days.
All right, members, any questions for this witness?
For education purposes, can we name me some that I don't know?
Well, I don't know all the religions, but I
Okay.
know that, in places that are very diverse, there may be religions that aren't the usual Christmas or Easter holidays that we're all aware of. But every family has the right to practice their religion and to be supported in that for their children.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Members, any additional questions? All right, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Chair calls Shariq Abdul-Ghani, Executive Director of the Minaret Foundation. We show you registered as Shariq Abdul-Ghani on behalf of the Minaret Foundation, your Executive Director, and you'll be testifying for the bill. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Thank you.
Blessings and peace to you all. My name is Shariq Abdul-Ghani, and I'm in favor of HB 1212. I'm the Executive Director of Minaret Foundation, where we bring faith communities together through multi-faith and civic engagement. Like my friends in other faith communities, God has ordered us to worship Him. Just as a reminder to you all of some of the verses that our children grow up with, Jesus says, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you really know me, you will know my Father as well. It's John 14. And Deuteronomy 6, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You should love your God. You should love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might. And in the Quran, it says, O mankind, worship your Lord who created you as those who He created before you so that you may know Him and get to know Him. We're in favor of this bill because it creates a uniform policy for children throughout the state of Texas where no one has to choose between worshiping their Lord and their academic success. There are many children throughout the state of Texas who decide at the last minute that they're going to go to services. There's many parents in the state of Texas who may not know because of the lunar calendar when their holiday may actually fall, creating undue burden upon parents and families themselves. HB 1212 by Representative Jetton empowers our parents to know and gives and puts the court right back into the family and says, hey, tomorrow is a religious holiday and our child should have an excused absence. Thank you for your time and blessings of peace to you all.
Thank you, Mr. Ghani. Members, are there any questions for this witness? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Chair calls Faizan Atiq, the Islamic Society of Greater Houston. Thank you for being here today. We show you registered as Faizan Atiq. On behalf of the Islamic Society of Greater Houston, you are the treasurer, and you'll be testifying for the bill. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Right, thank you.
Peace and blessings to everyone. My name is Faizan Atiq, and I'm the treasurer of the Islamic Society of Greater Houston, the largest Muslim organization in Texas. I am here to testify in support of House Bill 1212, a bill that not only would have immense impact on my family, but the families of all across Texas, regardless of their faith. Asking students to provide notes from clergy and trying to further verify the proof of the holiday sends a very implicit message. That message is amplified when some school districts require notes from congregations for some religions, but not for others, and accept parental notes for others. By ensuring parental notes are accepted for all religions and prohibiting further documentation, schools are able to convey a message of acceptance and recognition for all holidays. Students may feel a greater sense of belonging and inclusion and knowing that they are held to an equal standard as their peers. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Members, any questions for the witness? Thank you for being here.
Thank you all.
The chair calls Mujib Kazi, North Texas Islamic Council. Thank you for being here today. We show you registered as Mujib Kazi on behalf of the North Texas Islamic Council as the president,
Yes.
and you'll be testifying for the bill. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Yep. Peace and blessing be upon you all. My name is Mujib Kazi, and I'm serving as president of North Texas Islamic Council. I am in the favor of House Bill 1212. I moved to the United States of America 27 years ago for the same reason that most expats come to adopt the United States, for its values and enormous economic opportunities to better our lives. Interfaith engagement is a central part of my life and identity. When working with my neighboring churches, synagogues, temples, I found a strong sense of community. We developed a powerful bond and connection through the shared worship of God. We started to establish camaraderie, friendship, and undertook projects with the common goal for helping each other. Religious freedom is a core value of Texas that we're proud to share. House Bill 1212 merely grows these protection in joining countless faiths in the shared mission of promoting religious freedom in our schools for reducing the barriers students face in celebrating their holidays. Thank you.
Thanks. Members, any questions for this witness? Thank you very much. The chair calls Sharon Vane of the Jewish Federation of Greater Austin and the Austin Jewish community. Thank you for being here today. We show you registered as Sharon Vane on behalf of the Jewish Federation of Greater Austin and the Austin Jewish community, and you'll be testifying for the bill. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you.
My name is Sharon Vane, and I'm representing the Jewish Federation of Greater Austin, as well as the larger Austin Jewish community. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today in favor of HB 1212. I want to invite you for a second to imagine a flipped world in our public schools, one in which calendars and schedules don't revolve around common Christian holidays. Families who celebrate Christmas are welcome to take the day off school as long as they have a note from a priest, reverend, or pastor. They may also have to fill out an attendance form to describe what days they'll be off in order to have the absence excused as a holy day absence. This is the reality for Jewish families here in Texas. Every fall, Jewish families trade strategies and stories of how their schools handle absences for the high holy days. Here's just a quick sampling from the past year in our Jewish Parents Facebook group. A couple years ago, the attendance office at the middle school refused to take my note because she didn't think it was an excused absence. This is our first experience in the Texas public school system. We emailed our school in Pflugerville stating that our son will be out Monday for the holiday. They responded saying it would be an unexcused absence if we do not give them a note from our temple. The differences are not just across school districts, but even change from school to school. My older son's Austin ISD High School took an email from me to excuse absences. When I emailed to alert my younger son's high school to his upcoming absence for Rosh Hashanah freshman year, I had to fill out a special form that asked for the dates of absences and what we would be doing during the day. We believe HB 1212 would represent a positive step forward in eliminating conflicts for Jewish families. Ensuring that parent or guardian emails will serve as sufficient notice of holiday absences will create a more consistent and inclusive system across Texas, removing the haphazard patchwork of rules that now vary from school to school. This bill also recognizes that in the same way that not all Christian families belong to a church, not all Jewish families are members of synagogues and have ready access to a faith leader to write notes. As well, it recognizes that there is a wide range of observance within the Jewish community, which, like other faith traditions, is not a monolith. Some families observe one day of Rosh Hashanah, others two. Some Jewish families abstain from work on the first and last 2 days of the 8-day observance of Passover. Others do not. In short, passing HB 1212 would be a welcome and positive step toward creating a cohesive system across the state that ensures that all Texas public school families of all faiths are truly included. Thank you for your time.
Members, are any questions for this witness? Yes, Representative Tallarico.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for being here. I think it's helpful to recognize that not all holidays are created equal within a faith. You know, for Christians, I think most denominations would agree that Easter and Christmas are more culturally important than Pentecost or All Saints Day, right? And I think there's a misnomer about the Jewish faith that, winter break includes Hanukkah, right? And because Hanukkah is near Christmas, we sometimes think must be the most important Jewish holiday. Can you speak from a Jewish perspective about what are those central holidays, and is Hanukkah one of them?
Sure, that's a great point. And that happens a lot, right? Hanukkah is close to Christmas, and just by dint of the fact of proximity, it tends to take on a greater importance out there. You see the decorations at Target for Hanukkah, whereas not really for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. The central days of the Jewish faith are Rosh Hashanah, which is the Jewish New Year, and Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Repentance. So there's actually a 10-day period called the Days of Awe that starts on Rosh Hashanah. Typically, families, go to services on that day. You spend 10 days repenting and thinking about how you can be a better person, and then your fate is sealed on Yom Kippur. If I was going to say one day that almost all Jews mark and observe by refraining from work, it would be Yom Kippur, with Rosh Hashanah being a close second. These typically fall on the Gregorian calendar in the fall. We also have a lunar calendar, so it's in September, it's October, it moves around. It's not a set time. Some days we're in school for just a week, and then you got to be out for these 2 days that are 10 days apart, and it can be really challenging. So, having to constantly scramble for official notes from rabbis or the Federation, I think as it's impacted other faith communities, has also impacted ours.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Mr. Chair.
Members, any additional questions? All right, thank you for being here. Is there anyone else who wishes to testify on, for, or against House Bill 1212? If not, the chair recognizes Representative Jetton to close on the bill.
Mr. Chair, we have an opportunity for questions.
Yeah.
Thank you, committee. Thank you for everyone who testified. Happy to answer any questions before closing.
Thank you. Representative Jetton, I appreciate your bill, and I certainly see the point of it. I think my question is, if we take the parental or guardian note and no verification, does this alleviate any responsibility to the district on multiple absences, or does this put more of a burden on? So now we're basically not going to ask or verify why the child is absent, but from an attendance standpoint, is this going to make a superintendent be liable for something he no longer verifies? You see my point? I just want to make sure that if we're going down this road, that we're not going to require superintendents to keep up with these absences and have to verify something they're no longer allowed to verify.
Sure. I think the main point is that they won't have to verify them anymore. And so the key would be, in the same way that, if someone comes in with a sick note from their parent, that is sufficient for an excused absence. Same would be so if the parent sent in a note saying that their child is going to miss a day of school because of a religious holy day. Okay. And so it would be treated the same.
Well, I think one of the concerns I'd heard about it is, and after listening to your bill, I think it's very clear. We're not asking superintendents or school personnel to define holy days. Number one.
That's correct.
And so, but like I said, I just want to make sure your bill doesn't cause them to be responsible for something we're not allowing them to ask.
I don't believe there's any more accountability or responsibilities put on the school district for this bill.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate you clearing that up.
Yes, sir.
All right. Representative Hinojosa.
Thank you.
Yes.
Representative Jetton, so kind of along those lines where the school district isn't additionally burdened, you don't see these absences impacting and decreasing ADA in terms of the way it's used in formula funding, do you?
It really shouldn't, in the sense that, a parent is going to take their child out for a religious holy day, regardless of whether or not they're they're required to have a note from the clergy right now. And so it shouldn't impact, attendance throughout the school year, just because now they have the right to send in this note themselves.
Okay, appreciate that. And my second question is, I don't read this currently as applying to charter schools, and we heard some compelling testimony from Ms. Vane about the complications dealing between different schools and varying requirements for these religious days off. And I would like to think that we could have, as a public school system, the same requirements for this provision of religious freedom on all of our schools that are receiving our public money, on our charter schools as well.
Very, very good point. I'll have to look into that more. And if it's something that, if they're not included, I'm more than happy to include them in this.
Thank you.
Okay.
No other questions? I close and ask for your favorable consideration.
All right. Thank you, Representative Jetton.